Good evening. Um, Small disclaimer. Yes, we here at Strictly Prohibited Network did say that there would be no Red Cup rants this evening. And it's not. This is something totally different. As a matter of fact, this is something that's been needed for a long time. So we are going to finally rip a band-aid off a blood, a gunshot wound and address the problem. Men, men in particular, the show's for you. The name of this show that we're starting today is called Breaking the Stigma. It's time, fellas. Hey, Nikki, it's time.
What up, Nick? Good.
What we need to do as men, especially as right now, it's just two black men that we're also veterans, so we kind of doubly got it. We need to stop believing that we got to be emotionless, that we got to be super tough, strong man. We got to be Superman and Iron Man and not feel nothing, not say nothing, not and just try to do everything. Those days need to end. The days of you grew up not feeling, not thinking, not trusting because that's what your pops told you you're supposed to do. Or your mama told you that's what you're supposed to do. That's got to stop. Hey, Maggie. Right now we're waiting on Mike. He will be joining, and we have a special surprise for everybody. Our Canadian brother is joining us. He's going to be a part of the show. Just letting y'all know right now, he does live in Canada where it is legal for him to toke, so he probably will smoke a little bit on the show.
Yeah.
Oops. But between me and Dre, we're both veterans who were raised to not really feel nothing. We were told that you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to feel nothing, you just supposed to keep pushing forward, regardless of what happened. Your best friend could have just died. But if we came home, yep, that Maggie. If you came home and you said something, you were gonna get called a little bitch and told to suck it up. How'd that turn out for us?
Men that can't express our emotions fully, pretty much. I'm struggling with it now. It's no secret. Me and my dad didn't have the greatest relationship. We're still trying to mend a couple things right now, but it's hard sometimes. I'm not gonna give you a sad story, but I have my scars that I deal with on a daily basis. Huh?
Tell your story. It's
I'm gonna tell it, but I just don't. But the thing about it is, I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me for telling this because I've been on this earth for 39 years, and I know I have the power to break curses, generational curses in my circle. It's no secret. It's no secret. People know me and got to know me over the years. They know that me and my dad didn't have the greatest relationship. I feel that a lot of times he wasn't when I need him, and it hurt a lot because I was at a point where I needed a positive male role model. And Dex, growing up in Columbus, it wasn't a lot of positive role models in our city. It wasn't. All we had was the local drug dealer, the local sports icon who basically flamed out, or that uncle or that father figure supposedly.
Yeah.
And I understand. I tell my therapist all the time that my dad, he was in the army and he had a job to do.
Yeah.
I understand that. But it's just the fact of the matter is that when I needed him the most, I just felt he turned his back on me, and that really it pissed me off. Really, it really
I
did.
understand that. Yeah,
So
I understand.
when he came back, when I was getting ready to graduate from high school, I was getting ready to leave. I was on my way to the service. I was ready to go, boot camp, everything. So the fact of the matter is, he tried to come back and try to play daddy. That really hit a very, I don't want to say a violent streak, but it was
It rubs
kind
you
of
wrong.
like it rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, where were you when I was 13 or 14? I'm 17 years old, about to start my own life, and now you want to play dad? So we didn't have the greatest relationship for about, since my son was born. My son was born. It was 7, 8 years. We didn't even speak. When I had my graduation in the Navy, he didn't really, he was there, but I could tell, we didn't really have the greatest conversation. He was just kind of like, whatever, you're a man. This is what you need to do.
Right.
I didn't need to do that.
It felt strange.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really come back on good terms until my son was born. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to have the same relationship that I have with my dad with my son. So I really I struggled, but I didn't want to be an example that my dad was to me, to my son. So, it sucks talking about it right now, but like you said, it needs to be talked about, because I think the stigma that Black men shouldn't show emotion and that we're emotionless, we got to end that. We got to, like you said, we can't. I tell everybody all the time, every man on my friends list, they know what's up. You got a problem, you don't want to talk to nobody, my inbox is open. It don't matter if it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just hit me up.
Same.
I don't have an issue with that, because us men, we need to talk about why shit's fucked up amongst us, because everybody has this macho, tough guy image. Trust me, I've done it a lot, and it doesn't work. So you need to really change that whole stereotype that Black men can't express themselves without being called a pussy.
Agreed. My inbox is also always open. I barely sleep as it is, so usually be keeping me company. But I'll let you know that whatever we talk about, I'm gonna try to be unbiased. I ain't gonna try to judge you. I'm gonna just try to help you through whatever you need to get through. If you need advice, I can try to give you the best advice I got. I mean, I'm a former leader of Marines, and I am the father of 2 teenage daughters. And I'm gonna tell you right now that another reason why it's important for us as men to feel is, it's not only if you are a father with a son, you're raising them up and you're showing them the error of the ways that we experienced and what's best for him. But for people in my position, where you have daughters, you're setting the example and showing them of what they should seek out in a male going forward. Because let's be real, those dudes who, they bottle it all up, they suppress things, they don't know how to express themselves. Those are the ones who usually tend to want to get a little touchy feely, a little handsy when they're told no. When things don't go their way, they want to try to upside somebody's head. And
you don't even have to be upside the head. It might be something to violate that said person, aka molestation. It's something. It's something there. Look at R. Kelly.
Yeah.
He went through a lot, and I'm not condoning what he did, but somebody really should have pulled him to the side and said, "Hey, you're going down the wrong path." But like you said, sometimes that's what we hide behind, is our egos and our. It's crazy, man. Our egos and our our macho attitudes, our tough guy attitudes.
I know another problem that we have as guys is, a lot of us don't know how to be told no.
Yeah, and you know what? And that comes from us, being men, because we was always, like, I was taught that the man was the dominant force the man was a dominant force in anything.
Yeah,
I wasn't taught to be emotional. I wasn't taught to be compassionate. I was taught to be, you do your job, you run the house, you're the head of household. It's what you,
I heard
and it was all wrong.
I heard the same
Yeah,
thing.
it was all wrong.
I was supposed to turn it all off, pretty much be a machine. You got the final decision. Leave the house.
And it
Wherever
didn't
you
help
go,
that.
they gonna follow. So it's on you. It's on
And it
you.
didn't help that. It didn't help that we was proud military, so it gets drilled every day that you're supposed to lead. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, some people, including myself, I took that home. Even when I left it, they say leave your work stuff at work. Sometimes it's not that easy. It really isn't, because you're so used to being in charge. Sometimes, that's not the case sometimes.
Well, Matt, that is a good question. I appreciate you commenting while you're at work. We're waiting on you, bro. Why do men have these egos? We have no reason. He's right. We don't have a reason to believe that we're better than women. We're not. And to be completely honest, for a man to truly be successful, especially in a relationship, you shouldn't be with somebody that you feel is lesser than you or better than you. You need to be with somebody who you feel is your equal. That way y'all can ride together, support each other, and grow as one. You trying to do it, you with somebody you feel is lesser than you, that means you trying to do everything by yourself and she just along for the ride, which means if you do hit it big, you do get successful, first thing in your mind is, what is she truly here for?
It's got to be about that.
Is she just staying around because I got this fetty or what?
Or what can you do for them?
Right.
That's not how it works. It has to be a balancing act between both parties. And I think that's the reason why we have a lot of problems as far as relationships and as far as men and women.
Right.
It's because I have that issue. People that know me, they know me. When I get really, really upset, I'm going to do two things. I'm either going to lash out or I'm just go completely silent.
Yeah.
So,
well,
shout out to my cousin Andrew. I see you checking in, dog. I'm here, man.
Appreciate
just trying to spread the wealth, man. That's all I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. The two people you see on screen, we have nicknames for each other. He's Evil Ryu, and he calls me Violent Ken. There's a reason.
Because
if people
know us, especially close people, y'all know how we can get when we're not in the right frame of mind.
Right. But and the sad thing is usually the thing that triggers us the most to get us in the wrong frame of mind. This call is being recorded. Is female issues. But apparently, a little birdie just chirped in and said, "I have a caller on the line." So, caller, feel free to chime in, state your name, and welcome to the show.
Welcome, y'all. I am RJ. Currently residing somewhere south of I-85. This was a good discussion. I've enjoyed listening to y'all so far, and kind of pushes me to kind of share a little bit myself. The old man with a father that I've probably seen twice in the last 30 years. It's a tough hill to climb. And I guess me personally is just like, I kind of definitely resent him. I resent that side of my family because I feel like they allowed this to happen to where from the age of 5 to the age of 17, nothing. See him once. From 17 till 24 and him getting to hold his granddaughter. After that, nothing since then. I'm like, it's a hard pill to swallow. And then you feel like sometimes you overcompensate on the other end. You're like, yeah, I'm a dad. I got a dog. I got a whole teenage daughter out here.
Right.
And it's me, it's a rough deal to me because I didn't get to learn those lessons. Like, I had to grow up fast because love my mom, but she put us in, me and my sisters in some fucked up situations that you had to grow up quick. So I feel like it's a lot of pressure, and you know, you feel like you're supposed to be the family one to 10, and then that's it pushing down on you, and then you're supposed to be this, that, and otherwise, and then there's self pressure and there's family pressure, and then all that shit goes aside, and you kind of lose it. And it's a rough road to hoe when you don't have any type of leadership or any type of road to follow, and you're kind of pushing it on your own. And I guess that's the biggest thing you miss when you don't have that father figure. You ain't got nobody to show you what the way to go. You got to figure it on your own, and you just like, sometimes you make it. Sometimes you make it pretty scarred, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not exactly in that position, but growing up, my father wasn't there. My biological father left me and my mother when I was 6 months old. Berlin, Germany. How we got back to the States is my mother's family decided to help her out. And then she in turn joined the military to be able to take care of me. And then when she had my brother, me and my brother. So I definitely understand that. Growing up, it was just a single mother, me and my brother. At the age of 7, some traumatic things happened in my life to where I had to grow up very fast. Like, I don't tell my story much, but at the age of 7, my brother was 6 months old, and my brother's father slit my mother's throat from ear to ear. I had just gotten home from school, went to go use the bathroom, and guess who I see in the tub? I didn't know what I was doing. I'm 7 years old. I ran outside. Just so happens the babysitter seen me come out the house, and she was, what's wrong? What's wrong? I didn't know what the hell to tell her, so I just pointed, and she happened to walk in the house and went upstairs and seen it. I had resentment for my father and my brother's father until the age of, well, let's see. I stopped truly hating my blood father at the age of 24. And my brother's father, I let it go after he got out of prison, and we actually sat and talked. And, well, for one, seeing him break down and cry, and how he had to process how his actions all that time ago changed the trajectory of two people's lives because you're upset because your mistress came out. Yeah, I definitely understand. My brother grew up hating my father. I mean, he grew up hating his dad. And it got so bad to where now he's got anger at my mother because how did you let this happen? Well,
I understand that.
I mean,
believe me.
As I said, it's traumatic experiences like that needs to be talked about, because we're always taught as men to suppress how we feel about anything. And the fact
that's what I did all my life. I was told just
that's trust me. I've been on this earth and
that was the game plan.
I've been on this earth.
And then I'll tell you, like, fuck it up, follow it up, fucked around, had a kid, got married, watched my marriage blow up in a state of my own emotions, and just
honestly, that's why I think that
people and it's like, hey, listen to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nobody listened. Family didn't listen. You know, friends had their own things going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're all hardwired to like, let's figure this shit out ourselves. But you say it's time to stop people and let's have them listen. And basically, you know, like at that point, I was like, just listen to me. I don't care if you judge me. Just listen.
You just need to get it out.
I don't care if you don't have an idea. I don't care if you have a solution, but just listen. Let me get this off my chest and breathe. Like, shit, I hadn't breathed. I couldn't be able to say I could breathe like that in 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I think we're taught at a young age as men, especially black men, we're taught at a young age to suppress everything. Trust me, I've been on this earth for 39 years. A lot of shit I had to suppress growing up. And the fact of the matter is I'm taking therapy now. A lot of that stuff I'm starting to heal, but I still got a long way to go because there's a lot of stuff my therapist and I discussed that we haven't even got the Band-Aid off yet. So it happened. Yeah.
I've been in therapy in and out since the age of 7, and the first 4 or 5 years of therapy, they always threatened to put me out because they were like, we don't see progress and you're pretty much rejecting everything we have to say. It's because I'm young. I was 7 years old. I don't know nothing. You're telling me that everything's okay, yet what the hell? But then I grew up hating my father even more because where were you when I needed you? I grew up with one mother. Then my mother had to get deployed because she was in the army. So my grandparents raised me.
Yeah.
Where were you? Then come to find out, I get a little bit older. My father's claiming me if in the on paperwork in the military, so he can get paid extra. So it's just like, okay, you got the wherewithal to claim me on your paperwork, so you can get paid for me, but you can't actually help me. You can't be there for me as a father when I needed you. So for the longest of time, it was just like, if I see him, I'm gonna hit him in the eye. Just. And then one day I woke up and it was just like, I had my Kobe moment. I woke up and it was just like, it's not worth it. I can't grow if I hold on to this. What I can do is use it as motivation to, whenever I have my own family, to be better than what I experienced. And hopefully what you can do is just use it as motivation to better your family's experience and to close that curse on you with your offspring, to where they have their father in their life. So they got that. You learn your own way, but you can instill with them the leadership that you've acquired. The Marine Corps in the streets taught me how to be a man.
Yeah.
So,
and that's we need less of that and more of our fathers in our lives. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have my father in my life, but you gotta have somebody that's positive. You gotta have somebody that's positive in your life, whether it's your father or uncle or brother or somebody like that, or older brother, something like that. You gotta have a positive. I think that's what we're lacking in our society, is that we don't have enough positive black men. We don't. And that's not a shot at us as men. I just feel that what I see in society and what I see today, I think it should be a little bit more. It should be a little bit more. That's why I'm doing my part, because I've been down that road. I've been where I needed somebody and I didn't have that person. So that's why I'm trying to be a role model to my kid. I'm trying to be a role model to younger men. I'm basically doing what Kobe was going to do when he retired from basketball.
Yeah.
Be a positive male role model for these kids that gonna need some kind of guidance. They really do.
Right.
And I'm just gonna do my part. I can't tell everybody else what to do. I'm just gonna do my part.
Right. Another thing that what was going on with Kobe is he wasn't just being a role model for the kids. He was being a role model for us adults too. We watched him grow to the man that he is, and he said he was being an example for what we need to be. And I want to address some of the comments. Falcon for life. That you said the elephant in the room in your house is your dad. Who?
Brent. I just wanted to say shout out to Brent, man. That's who that is. Falcon for life. That's Brent.
Well, I didn't know that's your name, but Brent, what you said is your ex stepdad used to. No one would ever talk about the abuse. That's part of the problem. We, especially males, you have that. Everybody, especially black families, we all have that one family member who always doing something, and no one will say shit. Family reunions, everybody just looking. They ain't gonna say nothing, but everybody know Uncle Ray got be touching on the little girls in the back, or he giving people black eyes because they told him, you can't get drunk. You this, that, and the other.
That's why we got. That's why we got.
Can I say this, man?
I just want to say this, and I'm gonna let you. It's up to us to break the generational curse. All right, Mike. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Go ahead, Mike. I know you.
Yeah, Mike. You have some stuff you need to get off your chest.
Yeah, he really did, because I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you like this. It took me and Dex a Herculean effort to get Mike on the show. Mike didn't want to do the show, but we had to really convince him to come. So whatever he comes out, whatever comes out his mouth, that's him being raw. So just be prepared. So the floor is yours, Mike. Go ahead.
I'm gonna sip my Gatorade.
Yeah, I'm good. Steaks smell good in my house. So I'm chilling right now.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, man, I have a mixed bag of emotions. Honestly, everybody know what Mad Mike Sports is strictly prohibited means to me. It ain't no fucking secret. This is not a fucking secret to me. I see this shit as something that I could use to be, an inspiration to, like, it don't fucking matter how old you are. All this, you got to be 50 years old, or you got to be Michael Jordan to certain people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be these big figures to whomever. All right. One of the most inspirational people that have been in my life is actually someone that is actually no longer with me.
We know.
You got it, Mike.
We know, man.
You got it, bro.
Go ahead, man. We got you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. That's how we all felt.
Yeah.
When that happened the other day.
Yeah.
So we know.
Yeah. Y'all want to know the truth? Ever since about 11 o'clock Sunday morning, I've been crying on and off. You see it? My face is all swollen up and shit. I look more mean than normal. We weren't going to do a show at all. We weren't going to do anything. And
show was canceled. Show was pretty much
the actual Red Cup rant was canceled, and it is still not happening. What happened was I woke up this morning. My daughter, my youngest daughter, had her award show, award ceremony, educational. I walked in, and teachers and students alike all looked like they haven't slept. They look depressed. They just look broken. And that's when I realized we can use this platform for therapy, because we all need it. We need to be able to band together, talk, unify, because that's what Kobe was talking about before he died. Life is too precious to be holding on to dumb crap. and we need to work together to empower each other. And to best way for me,
Especially, you know what? Especially with us
right?
black men,
And,
definitely have.
and the way I felt about it is the best way for us as black men to make an impact is to teach other black men that it's okay to show emotion. It's okay
Yes,
to not be a yes man. It's okay to have feelings and let it out. Don't don't hold that shit in until you become a volcano and then the smallest thing it makes you erupt. That was my
and that's
problem.
not good.
That was my problem. I was
That
expelled from
you
3 schools. That was my problem.
right.
And see,
That was my
that's
problem too. That was
that
my
was
problem too, because I still do it. Trust me. Mike and Dex knows how I get when I just hold stuff in and then I just let it go. It's like I'm a bull. I'm seeing red.
Right, right.
that's me 100%. And one of the reasons why, it's this. My cousin is, I call him my twin. Like, it's
Hey, man, talk about it, man.
we
Look,
we 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 are we are almost exactly like. I mean, it's scary. It's scary for me, because seeing the Kobe incident just brought that back up for me. Um, 'Cause I don't fucking cry. Like, I don't I just don't. I don't cry. This is probably the first time I cried in
what? And you know what? I'm
in a
glad you
year.
are. I'm glad you are, because sometimes you need to.
Yeah.
Trust me, you
That,
need to.
And
that's what
You
y'all
need.
taught. Every time I've had a mental,
This. You know what? This is the stigma we're trying to break here, that we can't show emotion. So to everybody that says, "Oh man, crying is weak," it's no, no, that's not what it is.
and
Because
that's exactly
I rather for my brothers to come to me, be emotional like Mike is now, than for them to go do something stupid and get even more, lash out or be violent or go do something drastic.
oh
I rather that happen. You know
and
what I'm
see
saying?
that's me. I'm the type of person, I don't like to do a lot of talking, and that's why crying is like, for me, it's a last resort for me, because I'm man. Look, I've been, if anybody has been into Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, these are some of the roughest neighborhoods in the world. Okay, we're not talking about
Hey,
in
Dad. Hey, Dad.
we're talking about just in Georgia. We're talking about in the world.
I know.
Columbus is
All of
no
it.
joke. Columbus, Georgia is no freaking joke.
Dex,
Okay.
we grew up in Columbus. You know how I got. You know how over the years it got really bad. That's why
Bro,
I had to. That's why I had to
bro,
leave.
let me tell you something about Columbus, Georgia. Everybody knows what a mother's love is, right?
Mhm.
I left Columbus, Georgia, and my mother said that is the best thing I've ever done in my life, and never come back unless I'm visiting.
Yeah.
Right. It's as
These
much as I
are some
look, as much
rough
as I look,
neighborhoods.
as much as I love, y'all know I'm Georgia all day, and y'all know how much I love Columbus. But the best thing I did, and I'm not taking a shot at anybody that stayed there and made a change, and they're still alive and thriving. But the best thing for me was leaving Columbus, because I knew if I would have stayed, I would have been another statistic.
Speaking of which, before we get rolling, we have
And
another.
that's another thing. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's one of the reasons why people, like, when I tell you, man, I can get pissy drunk with the best of them. Okay, stupid drunk. All right, but well, feel. Yeah, I'll laugh at that. Like, I'm. That's just for me. It's that my cousin became a victim of our generational curse, and he's no longer, because he had a moment of weakness. He told me that he was not going to get on his motorcycle drunk, and he had a moment of weakness. Him and his girl got into a fight, an argument, went out for a drink, just like he's done plenty of times, and an accident occurred, and he lost control of his motorcycle, and that was all she wrote. But one of the things that he always told me is that never hold, bite your tongue for anything. Whatever is on your heart, whether people like it or not, let it out. That shit is therapeutic, and a lot of people, we got a lot of people out here just want to be politically correct, want to be friends with everybody. I don't look. Friends are not gonna save you in moments like Kobe Bryant. They can't do nothing for you.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing for you.
Right.
Friendship is not going to save you.
No, it's not.
Okay, we can be here to support each other, be here in times like this, but that's not what's going to save.
Well,
That's why you should use your. That's why you should use times like this to be and say what's on your heart, man.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we got a lot of people out here that just living a lie. They want to say something to somebody, but they just too afraid. They don't want to make it seem like this or that. Like, man, sometimes you gotta do that Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Say what you gotta say and be gone. You know, be at each other's throats for 6 months or 6 years or whatever it is. Get it out, get it done, man.
and Mike, I'm grateful. We got 2 callers.
Oh yeah,
We-
everybody that's checking in, we're not
We're not ignoring you.
forgetting.
We're not ignoring you, so don't hang
I appreciate everybody, especially, and you know, this warms my heart because I see a lot of men checking in and sharing their stories. This is why we did this. So go ahead, Dan.
1 second. Can I say this real fast?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
wasn't going. I was gonna do exactly what I always do when I don't feel like doing shit. I ain't fuck this. I ain't doing that shit. That's exactly what my attitude. And nothing Dre and Dex did not. Like I was gonna look. I was gonna say forget this. I ain't doing this shit. Like my mind was set.
I told you I
My
wasn't
mind was set. But
Hey, look. Regardless if you ain't want to do this or not, we're still your brothers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna disagree. We're gonna fight.
That's exactly why I'm here, because somebody is thinking exactly like me right now.
So we have 2 callers. First caller from Columbus, Georgia. Go ahead, state your name and speak your mind. Caller? No. Oh. Well, we'll move on to our next caller from Warwick, Maryland. Go ahead, you got the floor.
I think I know who this is. I think I know who this is.
Martin.
Howard,
That's Martin. Hey man, that's my battle buddy right there, man. That's my battle buddy. What up, Martin?
That's your battle.
That's my battle buddy. That's my battle buddy right there.
So when he get in trouble, it's your fault.
If I get in trouble, it's his fault. If I get in trouble,
no, that's your battle. So when he get in trouble, that's your fault.
Right.
Blessings to you, gentlemen, man. You know, in light of everything that's happened in the last, 72 hours or so, man. Crazy, life is crazy, man. And so it just makes you reflect on everything.
Yeah.
And reflect on your own life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. That's the Kobe situation was why we weren't going to do the show, but the more I thought the more we thought about it, and the more I thought about what Kobe stood for, especially after basketball, he will be irritated if we just decide, we're not doing something on his behalf. I'm a former Hawks employee. I worked Kobe's last game here in Atlanta. I met the man,
and I was fortunate enough to see.
We pressing.
And I was fortunate enough to see Kobe in Phoenix when he came here. The love and respect they gave him, and everybody knows that Phoenix and LA they're like Bloods and Crips. So I mean, the way they showed love to him on his farewell tour, it gave me goosebumps. And I'm gonna frame that ticket. Definitely am.
You know, I have daughters, and you know, to see how that man, and it still gets me right now, man. Like, see, you know, how that man, you know, took up time with his daughters, and you know, dying with his daughter. Man, wow, I can imagine how it was his last few moments to go down, knowing that his daughter was probably gonna pass away with him.
That's you know what. That's my biggest fear as a father.
I can't.
That's but it needs to be talked about because we all have somebody that we look up to. Dex, you got your daughters. I got my kid. Mike, I know you got nephews and nieces. That's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear as a parent is that when your child looks at you, and there's nothing you can do to save them. But this is what I want to say. When you're in a situation like that, and this is God forbid this happens, but when you're in a situation like that, you have to tell your child, just comfort them and love them and tell them that, you know what, and honestly, and I don't want to sound insensitive when I say this, but the fact that they was together in their final moments, that I'm okay with that. It sucks that it was like that. It was like that.
It gives me peace, but it still hurts because, like you said,
it hurts. It really does hurt because
my purpose as a parent is to make sure that my babies are okay. So
absolutely,
and I'm not taking my life is about to end, and I cannot make sure my child can carry on.
It's the worst feeling in the world. It really is.
Thinking about it gave me nightmares. It's like it almost makes you feel like you're invalid as a parent, to where through it all, I can't protect my baby.
And that's the thing. This is the thing with me. Exactly. It's what Kimberly said. Kimberly said it gives me peace to know they were there to comfort each other. She's absolutely right. In the worst circumstances, as a parent, the first thing you want to do when you're facing a circumstance like that is to comfort your child. If I was in a situation like that, that's the first thing I would do. I would comfort my child. Even though I know we're about to face our demise, that would be the first thing I do. I would comfort my child, say, you know what? We're going to be okay. I love you. I will share those final moments with them, knowing I can't control it. Now, I'll be scared as hell.
Yeah.
Facing that. And I know Kobe, and you know what?
Yeah.
Kobe was scared too, but guess what? He became a father first. What's the first thing you do as a parent? Protect your kids. Regardless of the circumstance you're going through, you protect your kids. That's what you're going to do. So that's why I'm not like totally distraught. I mean, I'm distraught, but I understand as a father, as a parent, that's the first thing you do as a parent. So
absolutely.
Well, Martin, we appreciate you calling in. We got another caller on the line, and we're gonna hop over there to see about what their thoughts and feelings.
Hey, Mark, take care, man. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna come see you up in Maryland, man. We're gonna eat some crabs or something, man.
Hey, give me a plate. Hey, let me get a plate. Let me get a plate.
Take care, man.
Hit me up, man.
Church.
Absolutely.
Church.
Got plenty of Old Bay for y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we good with that. Yeah, absolutely. All
right. So we have another caller from Atlanta with the 678 area code. Caller, you're on. You live. You got the floor.
I just want to say it's Adrian. I'm on my spiritual side today.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Kobe, I'm only 13. But I can say Kobe was a great man. When we shoot something in the trash can, I want to keep the tradition going. Say Kobe. I want to say biggest loss wasn't Kobe, it was really Giannis. You don't want everybody like that, especially at 13. Man, like, I still can't believe it till this day. Kobe Bryant died. I can understand if he was like 70 or something, I can take it better. But not this young, especially after LeBron just passed.
Yeah.
And they shared the moment.
Yeah.
Kobe, when I was little, and I would cope with his highlights while watching him, and like, it's like I used to get abused by my mom, and my dad was a drug addict. So when they took me to foster care, I was just hurt, and he would have motivation speeches or something like to work hard, and that's what motivates me. And I just want to say that man was a great man, and R.I.P. Kobe. He got keep up the good work to all you people.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
For real, man.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
True, do.
I know. I see a lot of people talking about sports stuff, but it's not the time and the place for that tonight. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about some serious stuff right here. So catch us next week on that, but that's not what we're talking about tonight.
And don't worry. This actual show, Breaking the Stigma, won't be on Tuesday nights, and we're gonna actually move it. We just did it tonight because this is
Pretty much a trial run.
This is our trial run, but this is when everybody was free. So we just decided to go ahead, and plus we needed to be able to strike while we could because this needs to be talked about. I have literally seen grown men crying in the street over
you know what?
favorite basketball player.
This is my gripe with the whole thing. If you see a grown man crying or being emotional about something, don't chastise him.
Yeah,
that's where the problem lies in society,
right?
Because this is and then you get upset, when a man doesn't show emotion when you want him to,
because you just chin check
you basically destroy the very fabric that makes a man emotional. Yes, we don't know Kobe Bryant. I don't know Kobe. Never met him in my life. But I grew up with him. Like, we all watched his games. We all had his moments. We all saw a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Just living through people, man.
Right. You can't do not chastise these men. Because then you know what happened when you chastise these men? They grow up and be emotionless robots that you don't want to see. And you don't want to see a black man that's emotionless. That's almost sociopathic narcissism. I've been there. I'm trying to break that. So
another thing we got to do, especially in situations like this, I have a couple gripes. I have a gripe with the media, how they covered it. It's not just Kobe and Gigi that died. 9 people died.
Yeah.
9.
And you know what? I want to say this next before
all of them.
I just want to say one. The one I want to say is give strength and give strength to that 16-year-old that lost her parents and her sister.
Right.
I couldn't even fathom that feeling, because I know if it was me, I wouldn't be responsible for what I did. I really wouldn't. So
I also want to, even though no, Kobe's family is not bigger than the others, I want to say I want to give strength to Vanessa. She lost a husband
and a daughter.
The only lover that she's had since high school, and her middle child at the same time.
Yeah. You know what? Like I said, that's just like with a 16-year-old. I lost my grandmother at Christmas time. And it took me a year, almost a year, to finally accept it because I was very angry for about a good year when she passed. So
My best friend got murdered, man. It took me really 10 years. People ask me all the time, Mike, how the hell are you celibate? Well, I was celibate in my 20s, okay? In my 20s, I was celibate in my
and to
20s.
everybody, and you know what, to everybody that says, oh, you'll just live with it. Stop being a sister. Stop.
Yeah.
People gonna grieve how they want to grieve about certain things. The best thing you do as a friend or a brother or a sister is to be there when they have a breakdown. Please don't be insensitive.
Certain
Please
things, certain moments
That's the
in
worst. That's the
people's
worst.
life
That's the worst thing you
change
can be.
them, okay?
That's the worst thing you can be is insensitive. That's the worst thing you can be is insensitive.
Oh,
Very. Because trust me, you try to be insensitive,
All right.
oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
cut you out.
we have a caller.
Friend
Our
of-
Columbus caller is back. So you got the floor. Go ahead, state your name and take off.
Hey, what's going on here?
What's going on?
This Henry, man. What's going on
What's
with
up,
that?
man?
What's going on? One of my favorite
What
saints.
up, big head? My dog right there. That's my
Look at
childhood.
this.
Look,
Momentum
man, that's
stuff
my
bringing
childhood friend, man.
fans together. Look at this
You know,
shit.
one of those.
I know, right?
You know what I talk about? I talk about.
Really kind of needed, man, because I was just listening to everybody little issues and all that. Growing up,
Mhm.
all I had was like Dre and my friends and all that because my dad was in the military, drill sergeant. He never was there.
Ooh,
So all I had
shit.
was homie. That's all I had was homie.
Hey man, hey hen. The bus rides in 8th grade, man. Me, you, Kel, and Carlos, we talked about life like grown men.
Whew. Shit. He said his
We
dad
did
was
it.
a drill instructor. God damn.
That's why. Hey, look, hen. That's my big homie right there. Like I said, when I talked about a positive role model, hen was older than us. He was older than all three of us. This was the guy that when I was in like 6th or 7th grade, he was like 8th or 9th grade. This is who I looked to when my father was gone all the time. This is who I looked to because he always kept it 100 with me. And the bus rides that we had back and forth in Columbus, he never shied away. Whenever I had to ask him a question, he always kept it 100. So I salute that man.
Appreciate that, man.
Definitely need that. Definitely need that. It's like,
And then look, and then what's crazy, man, like with the COVID thing, man, I was in the car then like 3 weeks ago. And so I could just imagine
wow.
that, man, my truck was just spinning and spinning and spinning. And it's like the faster it went, the faster it was going. And I was like, oh my God. And then the only thing I could think about my two kids. I was like, oh my God, man, I'm gonna leave my kids. And then I just lost my mom in the car again too. So that was flashing in my head too. I was like, man, I'm gonna leave like my mama did, you know what I'm saying? And I swear, man, the Lord looked out for me. And so when this thing with COVID, man, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna tell you I ain't break down because I was like, dang, little old me, I'm still here. And goddamn Kobe, goddamn, he gone with his daughter and the 7 other people. So the first thing I did was I called my kids. I was like, look, hey man, daddy love y'all to death, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for y'all. And hey, ain't nobody bigger than life, man. So, whenever y'all need me, you hit me up. And I had put something on Facebook the other day. And the first person who reached out to me was my homeboy Drake out of everybody.
Well, Dre always quick on the trigger. I mean, that's what he do.
They doing and I salute y'all, man. Because
Hey, look. That's my man 50 grand right there, man.
I'm telling you, man. This everything is not peaches and cream, and everything is bigger than life. But the other men do.
There you go, boy. There you go.
You go.
Hey, look, that's my man 50 grand right there. Like I said.
Well,
like I said, hey man, big hand. I know you listening, man, but like I said, from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate everything you taught me. I appreciate you steering me the right way. I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever I needed somebody that I could talk to, when I didn't have nobody to talk to. And the thing about him, he stayed right down the street. Like it wasn't far to go. Like I could walk to his house, and the fact that the man, because he was older than me, he didn't have to take me in. He didn't have to do it. but the fact
That's-
the fact he took me in and he taught me about life. Hey man, look, I said I'm indebted to you, bro. That's all I say. You my dog, man. 100 all the way through. Like I said, we still talk to this day.
And I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you looking out for my brother. Like,
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he did. Trust me. Look. When I said,
well, you know,
oh, hey man, hey look, we are. Hey man, look, that's the only thing we need to be thinking about. But the fact of the matter is that when I told him that I was going to move out Columbus, he was like, "Hey man, do it?" Because trust me, Henry has kept me out of a lot of bad situations. He knows, and I know.
Well, Hen, I appreciate you calling. We're gonna let you know now that this is not gonna be a one-time thing. We probably gonna try to make this as regular as possible, maybe even weekly on Sundays. That's been seeming like the move. So we'll keep y'all up to date on this, but it's gonna be a regular thing because, like you said, it's needed. So I appreciate you calling in. But fellas,
I gotta give a shout out to my one of my homegirls checked in for me, Keisha, my old Navy buddy. What's going on, man? What's going on?
But fellas, I gotta let you know. Well, we popping like fish grease tonight, but we got another call on the line. Caller, I already see your name, but the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I want to say what's up, Dre. This is Xavier, Kalala's husband.
Who this? I didn't hear it. Who's this?
Xavier.
Xavier.
I can't hear. What you say his name?
Xavier.
Oh, my dog. What's going on, man? Hey, I couldn't hear. I'm sorry. I can't hear. My man. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, welcome, dog.
You know, don't blame it on his head.
My bad. Sorry. But
40 do. 40 do too.
Yeah, but appreciate you checking in, bro. This my dog. This my dog he's from Georgia. He's from Georgia too, so.
I'm gonna show my little 2 cent thing real quick. You know, I've been looking at this whole thing and what you were saying about stigma. I remember growing up, you know, as a man, always thought, you know, to kind of keep yourself from being killed. You know, not overly show emotion, you know, because then that was a sign of weakness. You know, and as I got older, you know, it made me understand that sometimes you have to show in order to know how you feel.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because if you don't and people don't know, they think you, like you said, heartless and everything else. And to bounce off what you said, yes, there were 7 other people on that helicopter, unfortunately, that lost their lives as well. And you know, they've been, I'm not gonna say belittled, but their role has been minimized because of who was on the helicopter with them.
You said the same thing. I agree.
Well,
agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I'm like this right here. Look, I'm 50 years old, and I guess in my old age, you know, I've started showing a little bit more emotion. You know.
Hey man, look, man, look, you still in your prime. Stop talking about that. You old. You in your prime. Stop it. Come on, man. Look. Hey, look. I'm striving to get where you at. I'm trying to get where you at. I'm 39. I'm trying to get where you at. So yeah.
Got that right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get where you at. That's a blessing.
Hey, man, my cousin.
That is a blessing.
One thing Twin always taught me, bro. Like, and that's something that I try not to lose is that you guys know I was like when I was really just a couple of years ago. I didn't hold anything back. sometimes I look at my timeline on Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
Right, exactly.
Like
Don't go there, Dre.
I'm
not saying nothing, bro. Not saying nothing, man. I'm good.
Sometimes I really, not truly, like.
Well, I mean, you know, we have that opportunity to grow, though. And if you don't have the right people around you, you won't grow.
Yeah.
You know, something my uncle always told me: if you're the smartest person out your group, you need another group.
Yeah.
Like
that's the truth. That's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I can't challenge you, then I'm of no use. I mean, because look at it. Okay, I'll give you a prime example. Antonio Brown, he's a prime example.
Woo, man.
You know,
he needs that.
He really needs
Zeke, but yeah, that works too.
Yeah, but I'm saying no, Zeke is
Antonio broke.
not. Ain't nothing like Antonio Brown, brother.
Antonio broke. Antonio broke. I can't even say Vontaze Burfict did it. I think he.
Well, like I said before, and I know we're not going to talk about sports. This is going to be very brief. To everybody that said Ryan Clark was the idiot for talking about that, go apologize to that man on his Twitter.
Who?
Right now.
Ryan Clark.
Hold on, let me get my TI on expeditiously.
Absolutely. Yeah. So.
That's my college word for the day.
Perfect was a start, but I think something along the line just kind of made him snap, though.
Yeah. I mean, they did interviews with his stepfather and everything. They said he never had discipline. He never was told no. He always allowed to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about here.
You don't have anybody.
This is what we're talking about.
Close enough to sit back and tell you, say what you're doing wrong.
Right.
And of course, you're gonna do whatever you want.
And honestly, I'm glad you brought it up because it leads into the topic that we're talking about, the effects of how we're raised. With him having no true discipline, being fully entitled, when he finally was told no, he rebelled because he didn't know how to accept no. Oh, they out to get me. They hating me. They trying to end me because you were told no.
Oh, that the black man stigma. Oh, the white man is out to get me. The white man is out to get me.
Mike, you know what, Mike, you beat me to it because I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say the exact same thing that Mike was about to say.
Overly woke. Not everything is because it's the Illuminati or it's conspiracy or that third eye. No, sometimes it's just y'all fucking up. You ever thought of that?
You know what? We can't blame everything on circumstances. You gotta.
Sometimes it's an overload of knowledge. Sometimes.
Yes, sir.
None at all.
I mean, my IT teacher told me this this morning when I attended her lecture because I just got put in class. She said the smartphone was the greatest yet worst invention that she has ever encountered because you have all the information you ever want at your fingertips at all times, but you have all the information you ever want at your fingertips at all times. And not everybody vets their information before they throw it out the internet.
Right.
Let me see like this right here. I remember back in the 80s, I used to be a walking Rolodex.
Hold on now. They don't know about that Rolodex now. They don't know about that.
Hey, they don't know about that, dog.
He gonna learn something.
So that let you know. But now, I am lucky to know about 4 phone numbers by heart. Just because of the smartphone.
My smartphone has crippled me so much to where I barely know my mother's phone number. I can remember the last 4 of my fiance's number. I don't know my mother's address anymore. I just type in mom's house and it takes me.
Yeah. And it's soft. I mean, because see, look, when I grew up, my grandfather was a carpenter. I had one uncle that laid concrete. I had one uncle that did plumbing. I had one uncle that did mechanic work. My dad was a truck driver. So during the summertime while everybody was out, you know, doing their thing in the pool and whatnot, I was loaned out. I was out through there,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
putting down a daggone parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 90-degree daggone weather. So
told you better not cry and you ain't getting nothing to drink.
So
I tell you,
That's my grandpa's.
It seems to me, but it actually helps. And now these kids, heck, you lucky if you can get even air in a tire, let alone work on it. You know, they become weaker and wiser.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's a sad.
I used to work for Mavis, which for y'all in the South, that it used to be named Kaufman Tires. Mavis bought them.
Yeah.
I was a T1 tire tech, getting ready to get promoted to T2 before I left. When I tell you most of my customers,
that ain't no better.
Right. When I tell you most of our customers were men with flat tires, not knowing how to change them, not knowing what to do. Hey, bro, what do I do? You jack up the car, you put the lug wrench on, and you turn. Fine, here, pay me $30 and we'll do this, because that's what we do here.
I ain't doing that. Not doing that, fam. I learned how to change a tire at 19 years old. So
let me explain something to you. Between my mother and my grandmother, I know how to change an alternator. My mother and my grandfather taught me how to change an alternator. My grandfather taught me how to cook. I know men that don't know how to turn a wrench. They can't whip no pot. They
can't do shit.
My daughter right now knows more about vehicles than the average man does.
Yeah, and I don't doubt it at all. The average man can barely change a light bulb at this point in life. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Go ahead, brother.
I've literally seen grown men who can't change light bulbs. They cry when they see a spider. Step on it. It's a freaking spider. Just step on it. I promise.
The most embarrassing thing I saw was I was at Quick Trip one day, and this lady was out through there, and she was putting air tire, while the dude was on the passenger side, mind you, on his phone.
I've seen it.
Completely oblivious of what was going on.
I've seen it. I've seen young ladies pumping gas with their man in the car.
Oh boy!
And here's the thing that the guy in the car didn't notice: the girl eyeballing another man because she's pumping gas. He's asking her, does she need help?
My mother is from Alabama. Okay, Alabama. She ain't
fucking man.
Ooh, Lord.
Not having the emotional fortitude to know when to show emotion, but there's also a point to when you need to know when to put your big boy pants on and be a man. You shouldn't have your woman out there in 23-degree weather pumping gas. What the hell's wrong with you?
I could go one further. I was at this auto parts one day.
Oh no!
And this lady was sitting up there. She had the hood up. She looking up under the hood, and the guy was in the car. I heard the car running. I automatically heard that it was power steering pump. Didn't have any fluid in it. So I was like, hey, just out of casual talk, need power steering fluid. She's like, really? You know where it go at? Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead and get it. I'll stand for you. So I get the bottle, I'll pay for it. I'm putting it in, we kind of chit chat and whatnot. And this dude jumps out and he looking at me. I had did something wrong.
Ready to buck. Mm-hmm. Happens all the time.
And I'm just like, don't look at me. You just need to simply put your game.
Yeah. Happens all the time. I live across the street from O'Reilly, so I definitely understand. I see it all the time.
But I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I gotta get this.
Oh man,
everybody, Dre, I will see you on the rest.
Nah, hey man, hey look, I'm glad you checked in, bro. I'm glad you checked in, man. Hey, I'm just letting you know that dude X. I don't want to say it right now, but he's a Panthers fan, so
right now sports don't matter. This about
I understand that. Hey, look. I'm like Mayweather. You got to put the jab in.
I'm thankful and I'm grateful for you calling in.
But like that's what I wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm glad you checked in, man, and I'm glad you shared your experience, man. So, hey, man, salute, bro. Appreciate that.
And on that note, we have another caller on the line. Well, I told you.
How many? Look, this is a record right now. Like, honestly, I'm glad.
But just introduce y'all. You go ahead and take the flow.
I'm just glad that the men are checking in. So, hey, this is good. Good.
RJ checking back in.
RJ.
I'm like, let me throw a personal gig and then I'll get back on topic.
Here we go.
Remember a Kim and Q party back in, I'd say, 2017. I think I was able to dap it up with you because you were waiting on your better half to come out. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
That is me, kid from Alabama, that righteously should have never made that trip if I'd have stayed in the mindset that I was when I was supposed to come up there.
Ronnie, what?
That is me.
I wanted Fred G. Sanford, my man, but you still my brother.
Don't hate on my night. We gonna talk about sports. I'm like, y'all got on these new off-brand Negroes, and I'm like, they grind my gear so goddamn hard. Use my language. I'm like, around here.
You telling the truth.
I'm like, and I said, I work with a bunch of young ladies. Probably the youngest ones are about 21, 22. You're up to your 40s and 50s, and I hear their stories all day long, and I just like, what is going on with these new off-brand Negroes, man?
They lazy. They lazy. They ain't got no home training, no upbringing.
Yeah.
They didn't have that uncle or that grandfather they break their foot off in the butt. You know what I'm saying? Just boop.
I'm a 38-year-old man. I ain't gonna say I know how to jump, but I know how to change the tire. I know how to change the battery. I'm like, I know if I know I can fix it. I can get my tail.
And oh man.
I'm like, these little young fellas. I'm like, I look at them at the gas station. I'm like, y'all know how to flash cash, but y'all know how to fade cash. I'm like, y'all got y'all chicks, and they ain't totally excused from this either, because y'all chicks let them sit out here and do it, and they think it's okay.
Right.
I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, I'm low key, like, I'm just like, bro, I don't get it. Why y'all sit here and just they run to the lowest common fucking denominator of whatever everybody else in the world thinks of a black man. They want to run in that shit like it's something to be fucking glorified. Like, dude, do you not see this shit will get you killed? Do you not see that this is not gonna put money in your pocket the legal way? Like, y'all want to run all this illegal duck and think y'all gonna sit on the corner and all that bullshit? I'm like, folks, you're gonna get shot out here. Folks get shot for nothing out here. Like, dude just got shot on his live the other, like, I want to say Thursday. Dude just chilling in his car.
Yeah, Kim showed it to me. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, do you not know? Like, do y'all not know? This is not what life is. I'm like,
they want to glory.
Number can be pulled at any goddamn moment, and y'all want to act like some dang sorry ass dude. And you wonder why women out here look at us like we failed them. Like black women especially are disgusted with us as black men. Because honestly, in some ways, we failed them.
You want the truth? Truth is
Yeah, give him the truth, man. Give him the truth.
Truth is, as a black man, as a black man that's a veteran that ain't got no kind of filter, and y'all know it, we have failed. And we haven't just failed black women, we failed all women.
Shit, we failed ourselves.
Because between either not knowing how to express your emotions, so you don't know how to communicate, so you either fly off the handle or you just let everything slide until you just blow up. There's a problem there.
Yeah.
And then you have some of us don't have the upbringing to where you don't have no discipline, you don't have no structure, so you never taught how to see. No, my father was not there in my life, but I played high school sports. I had father figures besides my grandfather. My football coach would break me off. He'd break that foot off of my John Brown hind parts. Yes, I quoted Remember Titans. However, he taught me how to change a tire. He would have taught me how to change an alternator if my grandfather didn't do it. He taught me the benefit of knowing when to be a gentleman.
Correct. That is,
He
that is such a lost art.
he
They
taught me
teach you.
that sometimes you have to take that side off and show them that you are not a pushover, but at the same time, you are not supposed to carry yourself as some psychotic person who can't take criticism. And that's our problem, because we don't know how to emotion anymore. We don't know how to take criticism.
You know what it is, Dex?
What's that, Mike?
Nobody. People want to be feared. They don't want to be respected.
I gotta address something real quick. Matt, you are not a token white guy in this group. First of all, you black and me, so there's that. Second of all, you're right. Color don't matter. Male culture is broken. Period. Third of all, I don't want to hear you refer to yourself as a white man. We will fight. Fourth, Mike, carry on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but
I had to throw some funny in there.
Don't believe man when he say he's white, all right? Because he know he's not white, okay? He know it. But men don't want to be respected. They want to be feared.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I don't want people to be afraid. Like, who the hell wants to be I want to walk around like Suge Knight. Everybody afraid to like say hi to you. Like, come on, bro. Like, to be honest, man.
That's the world is already halfway afraid of us. If we
that's what I'm saying. We don't need to add to that, bro. We don't need to add to that.
And let them go the whole way with it.
I've been told something by a very wise old mentor of mine. People of other races, not you, Matt. People of other races and backgrounds fear the black man because if we did half of the things to them that they have done to us in our history, there will be no more of them. And they're afraid that one day we are going to band together like they're trying to fight us to be able to do and actually turn the table on them. My goal is never to start an uprising to where we try to rob, murder, and steal and kill. That ain't it.
Solve anything, man. That's not going to solve a damn thing.
Because all that does is justify and validate their thoughts. See, we gave them something. Now they acting like animals. Treat them like animals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Yes, I have a problem with bad cops, but I also will fight anybody who complains when it comes to how police treat people. When a lot of the times, not excluding the ones you see on the media fucking up, a lot of times people getting what they deserve, because I live in the hood off Campbellton Road, Atlanta, Georgia, West Side, actual hood. Most of these police officers ain't trying to fuck with you. They know they in the hood too. They want to go home too. But they doing their job. They pull you over because you don't flew through the light doing 60. They're just trying to give you your little ticket so you can go on about your way. And what do? You getting buck with them. You barking at them because you don't see the white cop up in Cobb County don't shot somebody. So now you treating APD like they the problem. So then when they come back aggressive, because
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. You think there's a lack of, and I pretty much know you guys are going, but you think there's a like an African American culture, not even just African American. I think just minorities in itself.
yep.
I think we're teaching them the wrong way to be towards cop. We don't need to be afraid.
But see, this is the only thing I'm gonna say. This is the only thing I'm gonna say about that. The only thing I'm gonna say about that is that the reason why a lot of us are the reason why a lot of us. Go ahead. No, I'm gonna let he was speaking, man. I'm gonna speak.
Which one of y'all want to speak?
I don't want to overtalk him. I don't want to overtalk him. So.
Which one of y'all want to speak first?
No, let him go. I didn't want to overtalk him because he's on the line.
Speak your piece, and then Dre, you speak your piece. Yeah, we'll do that way.
I feel like we as OGs just we kind of not. I won't say we created it, but we have our hand in it.
Yes.
And what you can kind of call a lost generation of young black men. Like we were too kind of, I want to say, indifferent to the police. Like, you like me, 38, 39, 40, or we grew up through the stuff we saw in LA with the Watts riots, the Rodney King stuff, NWA being our music of the moment, and like fuck the police and all of that shit. So we grew up with an inherent dislike and maybe a bit of lack of respect for police in general because of the big things that we've seen and how they've treated us, and knowing our history, how police and people of authority treated black men back in the day, and still being profiled to this day. I can say I got pulled over about a month ago, driving through the east side of Montgomery, and like I said, I'm just driving through.
Oh man!
Because one of my coworkers and pulls me over because the coworker's white, and damn, it's an instant problem. So I'm like, this stuff still happens. Yeah, this stuff. This is Montgomery, Alabama, is as much of.
Montgomery Hill too. Montgomery Hill, I know. I don't roll through there a few times. Montgomery Hill.
Yeah, it is. It is home, but it is hell, and you got to know where you got to step. But again, it still goes on. But at the end of the day, we can't let that what we went through become what they take on if they haven't gone through it. I think that we kind of let that slip along the way because there's always been something to fight against or something to rail against, and like I said, we probably been it got into a point where it was kind of just like, hey, we got to fight for our own survival, and we kind of slipped up and let some young cats slip through the cracks on that. But it's just like every police officer ain't bad. There are, I would say, 90% of them just want to do their job, take care of the people they're supposed to take care of, and go home. I'm like you can't solve them 10%. I mean, you want the 90 to hold those 10 accountable or get rid of them, and that ain't always possible. Everybody ain't got the clout.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we've got to get back to setting the example of honor and respect.
Yeah.
These young cats ain't got neither one of them nor the value of life.
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to solving why these young cats out here don't value life in any form, whether it's theirs or somebody else's. I don't know where we lost that, but until we find that, I don't think it's going to solve anything else because ain't nobody valuing nothing. Ain't nobody valuing life. Ain't nobody valuing connections. Ain't nobody valuing friendships. I'm like, yeah, we all, every social media's kind of got a piece in that too, but that's a whole other discussion. But we as black dudes have got to get back to setting the example that life is to be valued, respect is due until it is undue by that person, and everybody ain't a come up. Some folks just say, if you don't want to deal with them, leave them alone. That ain't nobody for you to go knock on their head or something because you're trying to get a piece of something. Go find the legal way to do it. Reach one, teach one, bring somebody up, pull them up to show them how to do it the right way. Maybe they'll pull somebody else. If they don't, then hey, you did all you could. And we got to start getting back to that. Because otherwise, we're gonna have another lost generation, and they're gonna be. Whew, I don't even know what to say about being like you, some 14, 15-year-olds these days. I can't even tell you. I look at them, I'm just as confused as they are.
So that leads me to a question. Why do you think part of our generation and the younger generation are so?
Oh, I can answer that. I can answer that.
I mean, I don't want to call them lazy, but they want to take the easy way. They want things handed to them.
Because we're not doing our job. We're not doing our job as parents, as we're so focused on our careers and trying to become, get back what we feel like we've been slighted. A lot of times we just throw a fucking meal together, throw a goddamn Happy Meal together and say, here's your dinner. Go fend for yourself. Like this is the type of mentality. When you got lazy kids, 9 times out of 10, you doing lazy ass parenting. So if the kids really aren't doing what they're supposed to do, gotta look at yourself, man. Gotta stop looking at everybody else. Gotta take responsibility for what's going on. And a lot of what's going on right now is because sometimes we just don't have time to just, all right, little Madison, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to do this today. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you need to be doing instead of sitting their asses in front of a fucking, new Samsung, Galaxy Note. You know what I'm saying? Like, we putting these damn kids in front of cell phones before we actually have a fucking conversation for them. We putting them in front of. We putting these kids in front of.
Hey, look, he's not lying though. Mike's not lying.
Mike,
we putting these kids in front of.
Pass it around.
He's not lying, but Mike's not lying though.
I'm telling you, look, I see it all the time. We instead of actually having a conversation with the kid about, what God is, what God isn't, what this is, what this isn't, we're pulling up on YouTube what God isn't, what God is. Why we can't have this conversation with our kids?
And I think
the lazy begets lazy. It doesn't happen. Lazy begets lazy. Hard work begets hard work. You're taught these things. You're taught hard work. If you're not seeing it, guess what? Your ass is gonna be lazy.
So as men, how do we fix it? Not with ourselves, because we know what to do. How do we guide others?
But you know what? I want to say this. It does start with us. It starts with us. Even though I know we're not the problem, it starts with us because we're supposed to lead. We're supposed to lead. So if we see our family is starting to slack a little bit, if you see your family starting to slack as a black man, any man in general, but I'm speaking to the fellas, I'm speaking to the bros, as they say. I'm speaking to the bros. If you feel your house is starting to slack off, take a look at yourself. That person in the mirror that you look at. It starts with you. You're the as my dad told me a couple times, and I may be wrong when I say this, and I don't want to offend anybody when I say this. Us black men are the divine entity in a house. We're the ones who's supposed to set and lead the example in our house. So if we're not right or aligned with whatever we believe in, it don't matter what we believe in, we have to be aligned somehow. And if we're not aligned, then guess what happens? Your whole house is gonna fall apart. You're gonna have that son that's running the streets. You're gonna have that daughter that's promiscuous. It starts with you. It does. It really does. And I know people are gonna say that's not true and you shouldn't say that. Yeah. Now, with that being said, if you do all that and then things happen, you're man enough to at least try to salvage whatever's happening in your house. But we're the divine entity in that house, and we have to do our jobs as parents, as husbands, as whatever we are. That's our job. that's what we was put on this earth to do. Everybody talks about how a woman doesn't submit to a man because of whatever she's going through. It starts with us. If we lead by example, a woman won't have no problem submitting at all. Period. That's my take from it. It really does. So do your job. Do your job as men, and then everything else will fall into place. Now, if she just doesn't want to agree with you, then that's a whole nother problem. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother problem.
It's a whole other problem. But if you're doing what you have to do as a man, you're taking care of the house, you're making sure everything's taken care of, you're the head of the household, you're taking care of your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, whatever. Keep doing that. That's all I say.
Dre, we do therapy, so we know step one of therapy is admitting that there's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It took me a while. It took me a while to admit I had a problem. But guess what? Once I admitted I had a problem, the floodgates opened up after that. Because we talked about other things. Things I ain't want to never look, I was taking shit to the grave.
I know I am. And brothers, we can't allow you to do that no more, homie.
But I understand. But this is what we're trying to. This is what we're talking about. And Matt, you're right. We are supposed to submit to women as husbands, as fathers, as parents, as the head of household. We are supposed to, like I said, If I have an issue, you know, if my wife has an issue, we'll work it out. We will work it out. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be on a bridge by myself if she's not there. That's not how it works. You have to do. If I'm doing my part, you need to. But that's not about women tonight. If you want to hear about the women's part, listen next Thursday on January 30th. Listen there. They'll talk about it.
You mean 2 days?
Yeah, listen January 30th. The women will have their say about the whole matter. Okay? We're talking about us men, what we have to do, our duty whenever we get married or we're in a relationship. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about what we need to do as men. And this is what we need to do.
For what
we have to take Yes, we have to take responsibility, and we also have to look within ourselves to figure out what's wrong with us before we even think about trying to take care of somebody. Because we can't take care of ourselves. How are we gonna take about?
I remember Chief Stafford. Like I'll never forget this. I was so mad that day. I'm in ROTC, bro, and somebody had that tie. That tie wasn't, properly tied the correct way. And I kid you not, he made everybody do what? I think it was 100 freaking push-ups because his tie wasn't tied. Man, I was like, bro, how you gonna punish us for it? But that's how
we have to do. We have to work with
that mentality.
It taught you teamwork.
We have to do our part.
So I have one more topic or question to raise to y'all before we roll up out of here tonight, unless y'all got something y'all want to
This has been great.
We talked about how, upbringings and emotions and things of that nature, and how we need to learn how to express things. My question is this: what actually happens when we do show emotions, versus what we were told actually happens when you feel and you show emotions and everything? Because to me, I was told when you show emotion, that makes you weak. However, a couple years on the street, being home fly off the hinge.
Whew, man. Because you done hit that nerve. Facts, yeah, it is strong. It is and showing a little bit of weakness. Like everybody ain't meant to hear your struggle. Everybody is not meant to know your deepest, darkest fears. Because everybody ain't loyal.
Right.
And folks want to do what they do.
And that is indeed true.
But at the end of the day, you gotta have somebody to lighten that load.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ain't got nobody, then you better find somebody. Because like I say, this world ain't suffering no fools, and it's getting worse by the day.
Yeah.
We all got to fight, and we can't be 100% in this fight to try to reclaim what we need to be claimed with the young ones, or with our ladies, or with our own children, or the other children out there that our children associate with. I'm like, if we ain't 100% in this fight, and we don't get all this side junk taken care of, then we all lost. I'm like, the enemy already, the ops is already firing their shots against us. I'm like, all this side shit about impeachment, this and whatever else going on in the world. And ain't no telling what they doing behind the closed doors.
Right.
So we got to pick up this damn sword, and we got to get ready to make it. We got to get ready economically. More important than anything else, we get mentally right, and we get economically right, and then the rest of it gonna fall where it falls. But if we take care of our mental and our economics, we'll figure the rest of it out.
I want to touch on something you said about sometimes we need to show weakness. I agree, especially when you have a mate, because your mate is supposed to fill in where you're weak at. If you're not showing weakness, where's she supposed to fit? Where's he supposed to fit? Because, we got females listening, but we also have dudes who might not gravitate to the females. That don't mean you still don't need these life lessons, because no matter how you swing, what you think, or which way you roll, if you are a man and you can't do man stuff, what you gonna do? Just like you said, the world is getting worse day by day. If you can't acknowledge these small things, you're gonna get swallowed.
Or worse, you're gonna blow up. You're gonna take somebody with you.
Because I learned, having Kim and the girls in my life, I have to show my emotion. I have to show my weakness, because me showing my weakness allows Kim to be able to fill in that gap on where I'm weak at. Because when I have a weakness and then I find a mate, they make you complete. They're not the source of your happiness, but they're the source of your completion. You can't function if you have a weakness. You know you have a weakness, but you can't show it. Because then you talk about, I hate being single, this, that, and the other. Well, anytime you come across a woman, guess what?
Look, let me tell you something, man.
Look.
Let me tell you something. Let me say this real quick.
Did I ruffle some feathers? My bad.
Hey, man. Look, I'm not a person. Where I'm weak in, I'm not very good at emotions at times. Like I can turn that bitch. I can turn it off easy, quick. Just like I can go in the fucking mode.
You know what? And I think that's our problem. We need to stop doing that. But go ahead, Mike.
That's exactly where I was going. And see, I can turn like I said, I can turn the fucking mode just like that, like with no. But she's not like that. She's not like that whatsoever. She's always in her feelings about something, always thinking about something. Like, man, can you just turn your damn brain off so I can get a break?
That's basically
like this is
but
how
you know what? That's not how a relationship works.
that's
as much as they get on your nerves, you have to.
But she is absolutely right. Always thinking about this. And that's what I've learned to do. Learn how to adapt to the way that she thinks, because sometimes I do need to think about it.
Like I said, you don't want it to work, more power to you. But if you want to make it work and you want that person in your life, you're gonna have to adapt to things that they do.
Yep.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna really have to. And it's a lot of compromise, especially on our end. yes, I said that men are divine entity, but at the same time,
we do have to learn.
we have to compromise a lot, considering the fact that what we grew up in before we ever start engaging with being in a relationship or married or engaged or whatever. We had to compromise a lot of our teachings and a lot of what we know because everybody's different. The person you're going to meet in your life that you feel that you can spend the rest of your life with, they come with a whole different playbook.
Right.
It's like football. You got to put the headsets on and you got to really call the play-by-play. You really got to call. Right, exactly. So I mean, if you want it to work as men, we really got to express how we feel about things. We can't just say, you know what, whatever, because you know what happens. That whatever's going to linger in your house until you talk about it, and if you let it fester, if you let that whatever fester, then it turns into a whole nother problem that you don't want.
Right.
It also you know what you don't need that, especially if you're in a young relationship. You're trying to take it to that next level. If you're trying to take it to that next level, you have to really sit down and say, what do I need to do to rectify a lot of stuff that I was taught as a man growing up? You really got to do that, because if you don't, you're probably gonna be alone forever. I know some people might like that, but me personally, yeah, I'm 40 years old, but I ain't trying to live that life. I'm trying to have somebody.
You got to break from childhood. We are taught this. We're not always going to be right. We can't always have our way. We can't.
Exactly.
Like you said, we have to learn how to compromise, because it's always really open the door. It better be how I want it, or anytime something.
You better have my food. You better have my food cooked when I get home. Man, look, I'll cook it when I come home from work every day. I'll cook.
Right.
I ain't got no problem.
After a while of you saying it's always your way, and no one's considering how the other person feels.
And guess what?
Bounce out on your ass.
And guess what? If you keep drilling in her head that it's got to be my way or the highway, she's gonna take the highway.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
The highway's gonna be.
Guess what? You're gonna sit there at your house mad as hell because you didn't give her that compromise. So guess what?
Yeah.
She got her car and took the fuck off and left your ass.
Yeah.
So to my men out there, if you're trying to pursue a relationship, it's a lot of compromise. So just take it in consideration when you're trying to explore the relationship. If you're not willing to give up a compromise, don't get in a relationship.
Don't waste your time.
Don't get in it. Don't engage. If you
don't waste your time.
Well, I was told something funny from a comedian, but it's the truth. Get yourself a wife. They ain't for the weak at heart.
You ain't lying about that either. So that's to my.
However, okay, we'll answer this one last question. As men, okay, well, let me put it up for you. Bang. Last question before we close the doors for the night. As men, do you make decisions based off your feelings for your mate, or because you think it's the right thing to do? Me?
Nah. The right thing to do. Me personally, it's the right thing to do.
The best way to operate is to do things logically. Make things based on the best decision. Don't use emotion, because emotion can have you steering things the wrong way. It made you happy for a moment, then all of a sudden you realize everything's getting ready to bottom the fuck out.
The only way, me personally, the only way I would base my feelings off my mate, to base the feelings off my mate.
Agreed. Always think logically. I'm like, emotions will lead you down the wrong path and will lead you into an even bigger dilemma or even worse situation. So
I at times you do think with emotion but that's like, let's be real, things like Valentine's Day or something where you just want to show your ass.
You just had to say that,
because that old saying, the one thing Grandpop said that is true, you got to work hard to get her, you got to work harder to keep her. So yeah, things like Valentine's Day's, birthdays, you use a little bit of emotion. You show your ass. Go ahead and replant your flag, secure.
Hey, man, look,
but other than that, use a little. But
do you see my heavy eye roll when you said that?
Well, you the king. You is the king.
Anyway, I'm trying to get off subject because I got my eyes closed because I'm tired of rolling my eyes.
All right, bro, I love you.
The only time I would base my feelings off my mate is if it's life or death. If it's life or death, then yes. But it's like all y'all said, you gotta think logical in the situation. Now, if she's in a situation where she's facing life or death, whole different story.
Yeah.
Whole different story.
Yeah, other than that, because especially when you have other lives involved, more than just you and your mate, you have to use your we lost Mike. You got to use your logic. You got to make sure that the decision you make is going to be the best decision for everybody involved. Because you thinking with your heart, yeah, it works sometimes, but a lot of times you make this rash decision because you felt it.
Yeah.
And then things go sideways, but you stuck with the decision you just made.
And you gotta look yourself in the mirror when you make the decision.
And Falcon, yes, if whatever your beliefs are, your belief system, I don't push religion or nothing on nobody. But if that's what you do, if that's what helps you, then I'm not going to try to convince you or sway you or talk down to you about your decisions the way you do things, because we all have our own ways of doing stuff.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do appreciate everyone, including you, RJ. I appreciate everyone for coming to our first session of Breaking the Stigma. We're gonna work on our brother Matt's connection, because this is not just my brainchild. This is the brainchild of four people who don't really show emotion, and we know we need to. So this
I won't tell everybody his name. I'll leave that to myself. All right. He don't want people to really know his name, so I'll keep it at just Matt. Okay. We're just gonna
wait.
Don't tell nobody.
What I want y'all to do. Well, first of all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in on Strictly Prohibited Network. We will be back. We're gonna make this a regular occasion. We have other shows on Strictly Prohibited Network. Red Cup Rants is usually on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. But we kind of hijacked ourselves because this is our shit. Did we do? We won't. I really need for all of y'all, not just the females, but I need everybody, men included, to tune in on Thursday night. Champagne conversations that needs to happen.
I'll tell you right now. For my women out there, if you need a safe space to talk about what's going on in your women life,
right?
Tune in Thursday.
It's going to be from a female perspective. That's going to be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 8 p.m. Central.
Because I know a lot. I saw my women folk out there. I saw my women folk out there talking about how, well, what about the women's point of view? The women's point of view. This was about the men tonight. We got y'all Thursday. Tune in Thursday.
We got three heavy on now waiting for y'all women folks.
Because trust me, Kim and LaDonna and Nikki, they're gonna bring their heat. So
they always do. They always do. We also have the Hodgepodge Show that's on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. We have the Chain Reaction with Boom and LaDonna that is after Cowboys games right here. And we will have another show coming in around October-ish. Got to confirm with B. Jones, but In the Zone with B. Jones will be coming. Well, yeah. And of course, as you've heard, we're going to be moving this show here, Breaking the Stigma, to Sundays because that's usually where all of us is free. And guess what that's going to be? Mike, let them know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do something, Mike. It's going to be right here.
Also, I just want to do a couple plugs. I want to do a couple plugs.
Plug away.
We have in the works. We're gonna have a wrestling show with my man Mike, Dex, Phil, and Matt.
We got
The wrestling podcast. We're gonna have a wrestling podcast going on, and then
My favorite wrestlers.
I know we said we're gonna have the Breaking the Stigma show on Sunday, but this Sunday, you know what it is, Super Bowl Sunday. So we're gonna have a Super Bowl. We're gonna have a Super Bowl special on Sunday. I will be in Georgia with my mom because she is a 49ers fan, so I know she's she's ready to go. And I just want to cheer for the Chiefs because I hate Shadoofus. But we are gonna have a Super Bowl special on Sunday. Make sure you tune in. But the only thing, the thing I want to say is from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody listening to us tonight, especially the men that called in. I was very skeptical about how the show is going to take off because we know us men don't like talking about how we feel about things. So to see how men checked in, especially people that I know off of Facebook, that really warmed my heart. It really did.
Confirm what we feel.
It really did confirm that.
Because everything we heard from all of our callers was the same thing,
right? And Mike, I don't want to jump on you, man. I don't want to poke fun at you, man. But you show emotion for the first time.
That was
big. You know, honestly, that was big. I was just like, I was like this. My eyes was like, okay, what am I going to tell him? You know what I'm saying? So to see how because I know you said you didn't want to do the show tonight, and the fact you came on and you brought the rawness, I appreciate it, bro. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, man. I really do, man.
Same.
Yeah. So, but that's all I got to say. So, unless y'all have anything to say, I'm pretty much done for tonight. I'm about to eat some steak and potatoes.
I'm about to eat this chicken pot pie bake we got going on.
Yeah, I'm about to eat this steak and potatoes and watch Kings of Comedy and just enjoy. The fact of the matter is that this was successful. SBN's taking off, man. So if y'all ain't on it, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your cousins, tell your aunts. When this network takes off, don't miss the ride. That's all I'm saying. Don't miss the ride.
Network was never just about sports. It was about variety. We're going to cover everything we need to cover. And as y'all have said many times in this show, this was needed. And this is not going to be a one and done because women needed a safe space. We provided it for them. Champagne conversations. Men, we need a safe space too because we need to use that blunt force on each other to get the brothers to actually speak.
Yeah.
Not speaking could be the worst decision you ever make.
Yeah.
Your best friend, your brother might be going through the same thing you have or are, but they've already been through it, so they can give you advice on how to get through it.
And like I said, chat lines was lit up all night. Phone calls was lit up, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was I appreciate it, man. We all do. All of us appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let us roll. Take care of one another.
Love you. Look.
You need to do a few things. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. You never know if that's going to be the last time they walk in the door or you walk in the door.
Yeah. Hug them. Love them. Tell them you're sorry. All that.
Let go. Second.
Because you never know. Hey.
Let go to people. It ain't worth it.
Like I said, my brody, the Mario, I tagged him on this post, but I ain't seen comment tonight. He said something very profound today. He said death is inevitable. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to face it. Do what you need to do to realign your life.
Right.
Also, I want to say, don't open back up to toxic relationships. You can love them, you can forgive them, but at the same time, Keep them at a distance. Keep them at a distance. Do it for you. If you gotta forgive them, do it for you. Don't do it for them. Do it for you. I'm good. That's it.
The last thing I had to say is, don't be afraid to laugh.
Yeah.
Laughter can help you, especially in times like now.
And music as well.
And music.
And music.
I'm gonna let you know. Bernie Mac and Richard Pryor has gotten me through this.
Oh boy, Richard Pryor, boy, man, I can watch Richard Pryor all night.
The girls.
I had to pause Bernie Mac because we had to do the show. So as soon as we get off, I'm gonna turn it back on and listen to him. So
the girls were at school and Kim was at work, and I've been listening to Richard Pryor all day. Just
find your outlet.
I'll laugh at the time. So
find your outlet, man. Find your outlet in something. Find something that'll make you feel good.
Thank you.
Mine is all this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what mine is. This is my outlet.
Yeah. Find one. Find an outlet, man.
This is here what we doing, what you seeing. This is our therapy. So we thank you all for tuning in. We thank you for telling your story. We will be back. And with that, we're gonna bid y'all a good night.
Enjoy. All right.